of Amber Voice with Mr. Nancho. And today, on this special edition of Amber Voice, I'm bringing on to you a great news. As you can read on the screen, the breaking news is that the game is over for La Republique du Cameroon. Now, if you can, please click on your share button so we can have others join us on this live podcast with Mr. Nancho. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to give or extend revolutionary greetings to everyone watching me right now, most especially those from Ground Zero. I've received your messages, and of course, today I'll be attempting to answer some of your questions. I know there are a lot of questions you want answered, and the truth is that I can't promise you that I'm going to answer all the questions today, but I'll do my very best to make sure I provide unto you watching me right now the necessary information needed at this time of the revolution. You remember on my last show of 2020, I made a declaration and I said, 2020, we spoke a lot. In 2021, our actions will speak louder than our words. And if any of you have been very frequent in the last days on Facebook or social media in general, you will notice that our actions are speaking loudest. And of course, this is just the beginning, because the truth is that for so long, La Republique and her allies, they've taken us for fools. They haven't seen the reasons they must respect our dignity as humans. So they treat us like animals, they kill us accordingly, they name us, they even call us dogs and rats. Gone are those days where we come up on social media to cry and lament over our lost. Gone are those days where we are running after La Republique du Cameroon and our allies, pleading and begging for them to respect human lives. No, 1,000 times no. I told you the year of 2021 is the year of action, and it's going to be the bloodiest year for La Republique du Cameroon, simply because they've chosen war above peace. I want to control myself because I know for a long period of time I haven't been online, and there are a lot of people who've been writing me, calling, and of course expressing their concerns. One thing I want you to understand is that Mr. Nancho is strong and fine. I think that suffices. So that's the necessary information you should get. And of course, today we shall be focusing on our topic, as you can see on the screen, the breaking news. Game over. How many of you play Chama? That thing, all you get. I like breaking it down to our Cam Talk, the pidgin language, what is known in other countries as the Creole or Broken. Now, to those of you who have joined me already, let me get some of your beautiful comments. I can see Richard saying the German still is on board. Thank you, sir. Wonderful. I see my beloved friend Don Larry says revolutionary greetings to you, Mr. Nanchop, our German steel. Thank you, sir. I see Tracy saying the one and only Mr. Nanchop. Oh, I miss all this wonderful compliments from you guys. And I see my beloved friend Dave says greetings to radical perfectionists. Wonderful. I think we already have more than, I can see Facebook is fastly growing. The viewers on Facebook, the viewership on Facebook is fastly growing. YouTube is doing well. I think we already have over 200 people to start with, so I don't have any reasons to keep you waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, my name is Mr. Nanchop. The German still, that pikin we know they take nonsense. Of course, when it make me pobia when he see my face and atanganji hear my voice, there is that piece for trouser. Yes, of course. When I know say in those days for village, when we use machine for corn or machine where they use them for chapier grass. For rainy season, we will use that machine with chapier grass. For dry season, we'll put oil for the machine, we'll keep up. Because that machine get a purpose and a time we'll go for user. So the German steel machine there. You know if they use them for dry season, for cut stone, for rainy season, for cut grass. No. If not for cut grass for rainy season, go bring them. When grass not the grow, we chop the grass. Now if you understand that talk, you go understand them. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians, I want to go into this my presentation of today, and I'm going to start with a Bible verse, the verse of the day. And let me put this on the screen. I read. Oh, I need to take down this second. And that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. I want you to take note of those two words in capital letters, or the three words. Delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. Says, for not all men have faith. Say, but the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from all evil. Now, this is very powerful. And I want to start my presentation based on this. Because, you know, in this liberation fight, in this freedom fight for the people of the British Southern Cameroons, Amazonia, we've had a lot of turbulence. You know, we've experienced a lot of things, and we are still going to experience a lot of such things. The scripture I just read to you is from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, from verse 2 to 3. You know, this is Paul, the apostle, writing to the Christians at Thessalonica. And he addressed two things. He said, pray for us. He was requesting for prayers. Why? He said, because the job, the duty we've assumed, the positions we've assumed, the things we are doing, the freedom fight for liberating souls, preaching to the people. Just like some of us nowadays, we are freeing the people who've been held captive for over 60 years. Apostle Paul lamented and said two things. And I want to draw this to your attention and relate it to the present day Amazonian liberation fight. He said, that we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. Take note of that. From unreasonable and wicked men. Brothers and sisters, friends and fans of Mr. Nancho, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that we are living in a world full of wicked people, unreasonable people, wicked men. If not, answer me this question, please. Why will somebody take a gun and shoot a child as young as baby Mata? 3 months old baby. Why will somebody go into Amazonia, into the British Southern Cameroons, and throw a young sickling and baby into a hot boiling oil? That is wickedness. Why will somebody burn Mami Api alive, set her ablaze in her house? An old mother of over 90 years was set ablaze in her house. Is that not wickedness? How can you reason that out? Apostle Paul says that we may be delivered from unreasonable men and wicked men. People who they do the things they do they have no reason for that. If you can kill a baby as young as baby Mata, what reason will you give me to justify that? If you will set an old lady like Mami Api in a house ablaze, you burn her alive. Is that not something unreasonable? Till date, my small brain cannot debug that. Why? That we may be delivered from unreasonable and wicked men. That dictator Biya and his soldiers, they will rather choose to go in for war against the people of the British Southern Cameroons, to kill our brothers and sisters, to burn down our villages, roast down women, kill children, kill women, rather than going for a peaceful settlement, for peace talks. That is being upheld by all the international medias, and of course the United Nations and other nations, calling on dictator Biya to come for a peaceful settlement. it beats my understanding that they will rather choose to kill the people, to go in for war. Okay, I have good news for the people of Amazonia and a bad news for the people of La République du Cameroon. Because when this war was declared on us, we at least gave them the benefit of doubt that they will cross-check their actions and then come back for reasonable actions. But beyond doubt, La République du Cameroon, France, and all the allies of La République du Cameroon, they've proven to us that we are not worth living. We are not, in their eyes, we are less than animals. So we've accepted the war. Yes, we accept the war. I'm coming to that. But after seeing what I just portrayed on the screen, I want us to reflect back on us, the Amazonian people, we the people of the British Southern Cameroons. There was something I really want to draw to your attention at this particular juncture. And it's unreasonable and wicked men, this phrase. Do you know that even amongst us, we have unreasonable and wicked people? I will give you some examples. Think about it. Taking into consideration that dictator Biya is killing our people. As a matter of fact, many international bodies have termed what is happening in our territory as genocide in the 21st century. We have human rights organizations that have reported on what is happening in our territory by saying that it is genocide. This is genocide. So we all are aware of what is happening, that this is genocide in the 21st century being perpetrated by dictator Biya and her cohorts, and his cohorts, of course. Now, this is the problem. Think of it. You are an Amazonian. You are of that origin. You are from that territory, the British Southern Cameroons. And you are so indifferent about what is happening. Now, I'm not more concerned about those who are ignorant, like those who sometimes you see some of your friends and relatives say, that one Ambatin, that one Amazonia team. They are so ignorant of the realities that they don't even know. They don't even know that we are fighting for their own lives, for their own future. Because when dictator Biya sends his soldiers to go and shoot down the people, kill, burn the villages, they don't say, oh, this one is a guy who is supporting Amazonia, this one is not supporting Amazonia. They burn down everyone's house. They just shoot at random and kill the people. And there are many of you who say to me that one are Amazonian things. And then a week later you come to me and you are crying that a relative of yours has been shot dead. Directly or indirectly, you are affected. But in the presence of your ignorance, where you say that one are Amazonian thing, you are failing to see that you are indirectly or directly a victim of genocide, of the brutality of dictator Biya. People who are willing to kill us just to get our natural resources. Let me not portray this externally. Let me come now to those who are engaged in code. Let me assume that they are engaged in the liberation fight. For instance, think about somebody like Ayok Tabe Julius. Think about, I'm thinking about someone like Epom and the West. The Mark Bawatas, the Felion Kongos, the Ebinis. These are people who once claimed that they are with us. They are fighting for us and with us. But now, I want us to go a little bit deeper and analyze some of these things. Think about it. Biya is killing our people. We've made a lot of diplomatic moves, and we all know that diplomacy is slow. It's like the United Nations, they want everyone to be dead before they come in. And it's the same thing that happened in Rwanda. They would have used preventive measures to stop genocide, but they were very weak and just trying to be somehow diplomatic until the people were killed in their millions. We of the 21st century, we the people of the British Southern Cameroons, we say no to genocide. We say we are not going to start acting in self-defense only when we've been killed. Somebody in the grave cannot revenge or cannot act in self-defense. We are fighting right now in self-defense to protect our women and children, our mothers and our parents, and of course to protect our territory. Now, think of this. You have someone like Ayok Tabe. He refused self-defense. Not only him and his gangs, the so-called Kondingi Mafia group. When was the last time you saw anything productive or pro-Ambazonia from them? Somebody like Yerima, the thief who came out and was speaking in the name of the Kondingi Mafia gang. When was the last time they did anything positive for the people of Ambazonia? If we talk about somebody like Ebini, I don't even like calling the name of that nincompoop, because he's not even qualified to be, he's not worthy to be mentioned on this platform. But for the sake of reference, let me use that name. Where are they? These are the people we see in La Republique du Cameroun, dancing, drinking their castel. Someone like Nick Castello Santelos. They wanted you watching at me right now, or looking at me right now, sorry, to say or to believe that this interim government is a sham. They told you not to draft. They told you not to support self-defense. I mean, we had someone like the 8th Special of Maryland, Epom Eritato, who came out on several occasions to say that Ambazonians should not support the war draft. Now, ask and think. You know, I'm coming to the war draft because I want to answer a lot of your questions. That's where I'm driving to. There are a lot of Ambazonians who have been testing me, sending me questions, and they've expressed their worries about a lot of things. You're absolutely right. I'm going to take a few minutes to address a lot of those things. But let me bring this thing to your attention, because for you to understand where we are going to, you should be able to understand where we are coming from. We should be able to understand that we are coming from hell with La Republique du Cameroun. And never again shall we go into any union with La Republique du Cameroun, not in 100 years. Brothers and sisters, it is imperative that we fight and crush La Republique du Cameroun in our territory. Last year, I think about a year ago, I launched on this platform the Operation Absolute Dominance over La Republique du Cameroun in Ambazonia. And one of the strategies, which I love and endorsed a lot on this platform, is what came from our president, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sarko Ikomi, when he launched the Amber War Draft. And I'll be coming to that in a few moments from now. But let me come back to these unreasonable and wicked men in Ambazonia. Those who are so wicked, they just want to be in position of power. They don't care. Ayok Tabe and his cohorts, Epom and the rest, where are they? All those who want to project themselves above the will of the people. Those who have said it must be them. If not them, Ambazonians will never get independence. You remember the audio I played and the image I showed you last time, where they literally said, if Ambazonians are going to get their independence through Dr. Sarko, let there be no independence. What does that mean to you? For someone to tell you that if Ambazonia is going to get her independence through Dr. Sarko, let Ambazonia remain in slavery with La Republique. That means they don't want anything good for the common man in Ambazonia. Because of ego. It must be them. Ayok Tabe says he is the Mandela of Ambazonia. He is the King Kong. As a matter of fact, his surrogates call him the natural president of Ambazonia. What has he done for the people of Ambazonia? Or his Kondingi Mafia group? I'm calling these things to your memory because last year, I spent a lot of time to educate us on these things. To talk about the mafia-ness of these guys. Their games they were trying to play over the lives and the blood of our people. Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends of Mr. Mancho, we've surpassed that mountain. We've forgone that a long time ago. Gone are those days where we played the victim game. Gone are those days where we offered ourselves like victims. We cried and made pity parties over our lost souls and brothers and sisters. No. 1,000 times no. Henceforth, I told you, as from the 1st of January 2021, actions will speak louder than our words. Some of you have been worried that Mr. Nanchop is not coming up to talk. See, we're not going to do the talking so much on social media, but our actions in Ambazonia will determine who we are. For so long, Ataranji, Eko, Dictator Bia and his gangs, they take us for noisemakers because they feel like we make a lot of noise on social media and that's the limitation of our power. No, our might shall be explicitly demonstrated at the field. Yes, at this juncture, I want to send revolutionary salute and 21-gun salute to the Amazonian Restoration Forces, all throughout the territory of Amazonia, to the 13 counties of Amazonia. The Amazonian Restoration Forces, I'm sending you revolutionary salute, 21-gun salute for Mr. Nanchop. And I want to use this opportunity to break this down to the key point, the Amber War draft. You know, we cannot deny that there were a lot of mistakes in the past in relation to my trip to Buea, for which we now know that Ayok Tabe and his gangs, I mean the Konigi Mafia group, people like Tabenyang and the West, they were the ones responsible for the squandering of that money. As a matter of fact, we now know their purpose. The reason they wanted the my trip to Buea money to be a failure is because they wanted to discredit this interim government. Their target was Dr. Sako. They hated him. They hated Chris Anu. They hate you and me. So they wanted it to be a failure and they did everything for it to be a failure. You want to argue that? Let me prove to you that these guys are wicked and unreasonable. Think about it. I brought to you last time a guest on this platform who told us how many times Ayok Tabe had secret meetings with them, attempting to corrupt the county by county structure erected by the interim government under the leadership of our president, His Excellency, Dr. Samuel Sakal Ekomi. Think about it. So Ayok Tabe and his gangs. Meanwhile, we are out there fighting La République du Cameroun. Dr. Sako and the interim government, on daily basis, they are devising strategies together with the counties of course and the restoration fighters to make sure they stop the genocide that is being perpetrated upon our people. Yet, you have Ayok Tabe, Eric Tato, Felion Kongo, name them, Nambere, and the rest. They are going behind to try to corrupt these structures, to deceive these people. I had Comrade Frank, who came up last time and told us how Ayok Tabe became frustrated because they refused to succumb to his ideologies. He became so angry at them and said the other activists have listened to him. Why are the county chairs and leaders and LGA leaders not listening to him? From the prisons, under the monitoring of La République du Cameroun. What an unreasonable act done by wicked men. When Dr. Sako and the interim government launched the Amber War draft, we had them, Mark Barata, Eric Tato, name them, Tapang Ivo, Ayabacho, and the rest. They all came out publicly to discredit the Amber War draft. Why? Because they don't want the people of Ambazonia to avenge and to protect themselves against the perpetrators of genocide, namely La République du Cameroun. They didn't end there. There are so many Ambazonians, and I really want to address this point because it is so important to my heart. There are so many of you who called me. Some of you made pledges through me. Some of you are family relatives. You made pledges through someone. You made pledges for the war draft. You said you will give money, you will support. But in your mind, you had this skepticism. You were doubting. Because someone had, Apostle Paul said, who have bewitched you? Someone bewitched you. Someone poisoned your mind and told you, don't give the money to the interim government. Don't give the money. Sako wants to eat your money. The question here is, I'm still waiting for anybody who contributed to the Amber War Draft 2020 who can disprove me, and I'm going to open my lines for you to call, to tell me that you gave your money to Dr. Sako. No, I want anybody to call me and say, I handed my money to Dr. Sako. let me say thank you to all of you who drafted, to all those who drafted. I drafted, and I've completed my draft 2020. As a matter of fact, I've started my draft for 2021. And I'm going to come to that tomorrow. But the key point and the key note here is that some wicked and unreasonable individuals wanted you not to do that which is right for yourself, for your sake. You know, I've taken a lot of time in my past months and weeks to elaborate on the fact that all these things that are happening for one thing, one purpose. La Republique is aiming at getting you and I discouraged. They want us to be discouraged. That's their main goal. You see them attacking the interim government. You see them raising up those ideologies about the world draft and all those negativity. It's because they want you to become disheartened, discouraged, and not to support the freedom fight. Because they've tried everything, and they know once you watching me right now, you supporting this interim government, once you stop giving this interim government your support, they'll have an upper hand over them, over us. So, La Republique paid someone like Eric Tato, Mark Parata. They paid all these individuals huge money, hoping and aiming that they could discourage us. Of course, Atanganji knows that if he comes and tells you anything about Dr. Sako or the interim government, you will not believe. He wants to get someone from the inside. Think about Judas Iscariot. They could only get Jesus because Judas opted to sell him. So they knew that they can only discourage us Ambazonians by using some of those who claim that they are activists for Ambazonia, by bribing them and corrupting them. So they can speak against the revolution, against the stance, and against the progress of the people. Hence, discouraging them. No, I'm so proud of us Ambazonians because they did it for 2 years. Imagine, a poem came up on daily shows saying all the negative things he was saying against Dr. Sako and the interim government and against me. Ayok Tabek did all his writings from jail. They did all what they could do. They exhausted their opportunities and energy. At the end of the day, you, the reasonable people of Ambazonia, you, the great and valiant people of Ambazonia, you've always known what is good and righteous. You've always known what is right. And you've stood by it. And you've done what is right. So why are we going to stop now to do what is right? Because I'm saying this because a lot of people have expressed their concerns, and these are very legitimate concerns. We contributed for the Amber World Draft 2020, and a lot of people are asking for accountability and for action. Some said they're not going to contribute for Amber World Draft 2021 because they've not seen actions, and you're right. Hey, come on, listen. I'm not trying to say that you don't have right to ask those questions. You have the right to. But one thing I want to draw to our attention here is this, or two things. Point number one. Some of you might be acting or might have been acting out of the basic knowledge you had or the information you've gotten from people like Ipom who sowed a seed of skepticism in you by saying that this money you are giving will be squandered. So because you never saw actions the time or in the moment or at the moment when you were expecting to see actions, you thought, oh, they've eaten your money. Do you know that to get the money and to convert that money to an action at ground zero are two different things? It takes time. Nobody sows a seed on Friday night and expects the harvest at Saturday morning. It doesn't work that way. I'm not trying to say that there should not be actions. Of course, they should, because that's the purpose for which we contributed. But we are not going to give room for anyone to use the delayance of the manifestation of those actions to deceive us as though our seed is not growing. I've never seen a farmer who went to the farm and planted corn and then came back a week later and said, this corn is just growing, it's not growing as fast as I wanted. I cannot harvest it today. And then takes a machete to cut down the corn he planted. No sensible farmer does that. That brings us back to what we call unreasonable and wicked men. They want you to destroy your own seed you've planted, your own hard labor. We've come this far because of our resilience against La République du Cameroon. And they want you now to doubt your trust, your strength, and your resilience. They want you to think, oh, this thing, someone is deceiving you. No, 1,000 times no. Where are they? Where them they? Where are the Epoms? Where are the failure Congos? Those who came up and thought they could use social media to make themselves famous, they lack the substance for which we are fighting. They lack the understanding of the time. They lack the knowledge of the war. Let nobody deceive you. And of course, if you have worries, I want to give you a simple solution. And I'm going to use this particular statement to answer all other questions. Listen, if you ever contributed to the Amber War Draft 2020, surely you did contribute to your county. You gave the money to your county. And I want to send you back to your county. If you contributed to your LGA, go back to your LGA and request for reports and results. Don't say the interim government or Dr. Sako or Mr. Nanchop. No. We have counties, and for all those who have contributed to their counties, for instance, Ngoketunja, look at what is happening. Look at the great manifestations and fruits we are harvesting from Ngoketunja. Permit me play this dancing when our boys were dancing. As though it's not enough, let me tell you what is happening. You see, a few years ago, we had the Amazonian Liberation Forces, or the Amazonian Restoration Forces. They were being killed. Our brothers and sisters were being killed. No, those who never took the courage to defend themselves, they were being killed like rats, like animals. Right? But nowadays, the story has changed. Look at what is happening. La République is mourning their genocidal talks. I told you in December 28, 2020, that the year 2021 is going to be the bloodiest year for La République du Cameroon. They will lose everything. My name is Nacho. Quote me anywhere. I don't need to be a prophet to tell you this. I told you that in 2021, La République will lose everything. In fact, they will regret ever invading Amazonia. While they mourn their people and they are burying their soldiers, look at what is happening to the Amazonian soldiers.
Asawana, Asawana, Asabouan, Asabouan, Isimili. And we already jam and take them. And they know the people where they jam them. We not call the place. We not call the location. We not identify the person we take her. And the thing like this or that. We know the buyer. We take her. Now all the things like this. They say we sell and sell and we they say we want buy and a buyer, but we need buy and a buyer. We don't already take and take and our own. Now we Ambazonia Restoration Force for Ngoketunja local government area.
Let me put a pause there. You know when something is sweet, we take an small. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Gone are those days where we're victims. Self-defense is what we've chosen to embark on. The government of La République du Cameroon that have chosen to perpetrate genocide in the territory of Amazonia, they must stop, and we must do everything to stop genocide in Amazonia. And let me tell you this. These are just I call them first fruits. These are just warm up. Did you see the video I told you that what we've been doing till now is just a warm up, because our boys are just trying to get used to. They are just trying to master the technology. They are just trying to master what we have at hand. And I'm not going to say anything more than that. But I want you to understand that if you contributed for the Amber World Draft 2020, you are beginning to see the effect and the results of that contribution. Look at this is harvest. Now harvest is the one now we deal with that. They are terrorist soldiers there. We harvest them from them. When I hear the body they talk about, they identify themselves the Ambazonian Restoration Forces, ARFs, and we know where they belong, to the interim government, under the interim government. Now ask you one question, Papa Mamide. More be honest. Where is ADF? When was the last time you saw an action of so-called ADF? They can't take una money, say, oh, they want to create ANA, National Army, AMA, and the rest, ANA. Where have you seen them operating? Where is the National Army? Where is the ADF? Ayok Tabe literally said he is not for self-defense. Of course, maybe that's why he's there in language in the prisons of La Republique. Because dictators don't understand peaceful languages. Not to talk of a stunted, all-rot, rock-crooked baboon dictator like Dictator Biya. A staunch, crooked baboon dictator like Biya. That one can even understand. He went to France and said, can you understand me? That one will not understand peaceful languages. You cannot have a peaceful talk with that kind of a baboon. You cannot. Because all his life, he's been used to using oppressive strategies to achieve what he wants. So we must let him know that in the 21st century, there is no room for genocide. And you can only do that by self-defense. Because of course it is instinctive. And it's our human or our basic human right. So what am I trying to say? The Amber World Draft 2020 was and is still a great success. Because what you are seeing right now, as I said, these are just the first fruits. So some of you are thinking, why should I contribute to the Amber World Draft 2021? Why should I support the Amber World Draft 2021? I want to give you just one reason. Because when you hit your enemy and he falls on the ground, you don't stop. When you hit your enemy and he's on the ground, you don't stop and say, oh, no. You have to continue and make sure you destroy him. You paralyze him. You break his bones completely, so much so that he can never stand up again to challenge you. And this is what we are going to do with La Republique du Cameroon. My name is Nacho. Quote me anywhere. We are going to crush La Republique du Cameroon in the territory of Ambazonia, so much so that they will regret ever invading our land. They will regret. They will go back in caskets like this, in hundreds of thousands, and they will regret ever wanting to make an attempt of perpetrating genocide in Ambazonia. Because in the 21st century, there should be no room for genocide in this world. And a dictator like Biya, who've chosen to kill innocent children, kill innocent people, we shall have no room for him and his genocidal talks in Ambazonia. Quote me anywhere. My name is Nacho. And I want to make this very clear. So, it gives us a reason to protect ourselves, because originally, we embarked on self-defense, and that's one of the manifesting strategies through the Amber World Draft. 2020 Amber World Draft has enabled us to come thus far to bring down the enemy. But we are not finished. This is the time we have to draft more than ever before. See, I noticed that a lot of people came up and made pledges in 2020 and never fulfilled those promises. From the report, I've spoken to bodies that matter. Not much money came in from that draft, but what has come in has been able to bring down La Republique du Cameroon to this level.
In the central local government area,
What has come in for the Amber War Draft 2020 has been able to give us an upper hand over La République du Cameroon in our guerrilla warfare strategy. So what am I trying to say? Imagine that we continue. In fact, we increase the monies and our donation in 2021. By the end of 2021, Dictator Biya will no more be alive. In fact, they will be begging us to leave, just like the Egyptians were begging the Israelites to leave. You remember the story in the Bible? Brothers and sisters, let nobody deceive you. Evil can never triumph over good. Never. It has never been like that in the history, and it's not going to be the case in the present days in Ambazonia. No. 1,000 times no. Let me use this opportunity to say to you that drafting in 2021 is obligatory. And I want to say this. We are not going to do the drafting by pledging. No. So some of you, I know some of you might be feeling guilty right now watching me because you pledged, you never fulfilled your pledges. I know of a lot of people, some of them, it's like they are taking this thing for an attempt. They want to see the product. They want to see how far we'll go. Then the support. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't sit at the line and you are hoping to see that when Ambazonia they win, you support. Because deep in you, you don't have that faith to believe in the victory. But let me tell you something. People like us, we've seen the victory. We have the substance and the evidence of the victory, which some of you are blind to see, but we already have the substance and the evidence of that victory. Where some of you are just hoping for it. No, we have it. We have it. And that's why we are giving our all. We are giving our lives and everything, and our monies and everything. Because we believe in that victory. Now, some of you, if somebody told you 3 years ago that there will ever be a time in the history of Ambazonia that we will bring down La République so much so that we'll be bringing and destroying their materials, they will be begging us, we'll be sending their genocidal soldiers back home in caskets, you won't have believed, right? Look at the way they were brutalizing our people, killing us, destroying us, burning our villages, shooting down our young men and women. If someone had told you that Dictator Biya and his cohorts will one day become the victims, you will never have believed. But thanks to those few individuals who believed in that dream, we've been able to come this far. Now think about if each and every one of you watching me right now, listening to me right now, if we all will courageously bring in our inputs, if we all will courageously bring in our efforts, just the efforts of a few hundreds of people have been able to bring down La République du Cameroun, have been able to crush La République du Cameroun thus far. Think about it. If all of you watching me, some of you will pledge but never fulfill your pledges. If all of us will arise beyond the level of just pledging, but fulfilling our pledges and committing to the freedom of homeland, this is going to be a very short journey. It's going to be a very short journey. Brothers and sisters, arise. The game is over for La République du Cameroun. The game is over for Dictator Biya. I said the game is over for La République du Cameroun. The game is over for the genocidal talks of La République du Cameroun. There are a lot of things I will be sharing with you. And this week, where today is the 1st of May, I'm going to use the next 7 days to come up on daily basis. I know I've been missing for a lengthy period of time, but in the next 7 days, I'll be having a show. And there are a lot of things I want to share with you. But today, I want to lay the foundation, just like I'm doing. There are a lot of things I want to share with us, the people of Ambazonia. And today, I'm just laying down the foundation. And I want you to know that the game is over for La République du Cameroun. It's over. I mean, some of you have seen those videos, right? You saw those videos where before they could just parade the streets of Ambazonia freely. They could just go about killing people freely. Gone are those days. Gone are those days where the soldiers of Dictator Biya will just parade the streets of Amazonia, shoot down people, kill our women, kill our brothers, kill our children, burn down villages. Gone are those days. Listen, believe it or not, I am Nanchop, and I'm telling you that we the people of Amazonia, there is nothing impossible for us. And gone are those days where Dictator Biya was hitting his chest and Yaoundé and Etudi were happy. Ataranji, gone are those days where you call us the voices in the bushes. Listen, we will not more be in the... We are waiting for you in the townses. Because we will destroy you in the townses. I'm not saying that all Ataranji, if you understand that kind of grammar, please permit that kind of English, I beg. You know, say... when I just permit that kind of English. But to round up, I want one thing to be very straight. Fellow Amazonians, the game is over for La Republique du Cameroon. To those of you who drafted in 2020, thank you. The counties that have been very effective, we want to see more actions. Kudos to the Bui Warriors, the ALFs in the Bui. And I see it in Koketunja. Kudos to the wonderful ALFs in Fako, in Menchum, you know, in Meme, and other, Lebi Alem. You see all over Amazonia, our streets are becoming dangerous for the armies and, of course, the genocidal talks of La Republique du Cameroon. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a clue. I'm not going to say more than this. Not just the streets are becoming a danger zone for them, but the entire air zone of Amazonia. In fact, as a matter of fact, it is easier for us to pull down anything flying over the territory of Amazonia than anything walking on the streets of Amazonia. I want you to know how far your war draft money is becoming effective. So, if the monies we contributed for the war draft 2020 could bring us thus far, think about what we can achieve in this 2021. I'm therefore using this opportunity to endorse the Amber War Draft 2021 and to call on you, my fans, beautiful people of the beloved nation of Amazonia, these great patriots watching me right now, the fathers and the mothers, to those of you who are their fans, you know, you never believed, someone deceived you, someone manipulated you, someone bewitched you with wrong information. I want you to know that you are welcome home. Amazonia is for all of us. We are fighting for our future, for the future of our children, for the future generation. Contribute to this nation building. Contribute to the stopping of genocide in Amazonia. And we can only do that in self-defense. Because France is only interested in getting the natural resources. The British are only interested in getting our petrol. They don't care about the people dying. But those dying are our brothers and sisters, are our children, are our women. They are our parents and grandparents. Look at Mama Api, that was set ablaze in her own home, sleeping. Look at baby Martha, a 3-month-old baby that was killed, shot to death by a soldier of La Republique du Cameroon. Do you think that if we had... might not talk about, but if we did do, in fact, tomorrow and after tomorrow, I'll go into that. If we had started acting the way we are acting now, earlier before, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe Mama Happy will be alive. Maybe Baby Mata will be alive. Have you noticed that those videos we used to see where they come and shoot our people, we see our brothers and sisters lying on the ground, shot dead, crying, mothers are wailing and crying and weeping. Have you noticed that we don't have those videos again? Why? Because our self-defense strategy is very effective. And the support you give the brothers and sisters at Ground Zero protecting homeland is becoming so effective, so much that La Republique can no more have that free access to go and kill our people. So why should we stop now? Someone don't want you to draft for 2021. They say, oh, I have not seen it. How much action do you want to see? Some of you even saying that you want accountability. You've not drafted. You didn't contribute anything. You never gave in anything. You made pledges online. We saw we heard your big voices, you with your big quotes. Some of you even called me and made pledges through me. You indebted me. God have mercy. May God have mercy on some of you. You enjoy the revolution. To you It's an entertainment. You enjoy it when La Republique is bleeding, when others are acting. You are a spectator. But when you go to Boya, you want to boast, oh, yeah, we are taking note of you. We are taking note of you. But there is still room for you to come back home. There is still room for you to do the right thing. Let me assume that all those who pledged and never fulfilled their pledges, they were moved or deceived by wrong information. But now, you've come of age. You've seen that those who pledged, and fulfilled it, their words and their actions are correlating. We have seen the results. It's time for you to join the winning train. Some say, oh, you see, there have been a lot of division amongst us. Some were saying, oh, Ayotava is our president, this is a... You see, now, you should be able... anyone who is still being carried away by that negative wind of division is a fool. Because by now, even a blind man should be able to see who has good wills for Ambazonia. If we were to go, look, you have people like Eric Tato, Mark Barata. Those are jobless individuals who have been privileged to enter a plane and fly abroad. They have no career. They have nothing. So they were using this liberation fight to enrich themselves. That's why at one junction they could go and collect money from the enemy. Because all what they are concerned about is the money. Where is Eric Tato today? Where is he? Where is Mark Barata? They never believed in the freedom of Ambazonia. That's why the enemy could at one point deceive them and take them over. But they wanted you not to follow the patriots. They never wanted you to do the things that are right because they told you a lot of lies. You even have a video where Mark Barata was confessing that he told a lot of lies. Confession time. But the truth is that we are not going to go down to that level because we are here for serious business. We are here for the future generation. We are here for... Listen. We have the responsibility to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Think of those young girls and boys, the old mothers, the women, the children, who cannot protect themselves. They cannot do anything for themselves, even though they would love to. You watching me right now, you are the answer to their prayers. So relenting your effort in doing what is good is betraying them. And we cannot afford that. We cannot afford that to betray these innocent people. Because God does not care. Do you think an army, a soldier that takes a gun and shoots a 3-month-old baby has the conscience to respect the life of any other human? Or someone who burns down an old lady like Mama Api, set her ablaze, burn... you don't even have respect for old mothers. You burn them alive. That was the red line. That was the moment I know that La Republique du Cameroon, we must take them as a serious enemy. Now they are down. We've made sure they are down. And someone wants to tell you, no, just stay. We don't bring them down. No. We must crush them. Crush them. Break their legs. Destroy them completely. In fact, we will not only do it in the territory of Ambazonia. We'll go... Man, no talk. You understand what I talk. But the truth is that the Amber World Draft 2021 is the way forward. Some of you, I hear you right. What is the way forward? And enough of this confusion. What is the way forward? The way forward is Amber World Draft. And so long as La Republique keeps playing the stubborn game, if we get into 2022, we're also going to do the Amber World Draft 20. We must keep fighting and protecting our territory. We must let France and the British know that they want to trample upon the blood of our people to get our natural resources no more. Gone are those days. Listen, the dictators and the cohorts of Bia, they live in an ancient, how do you call it? I know it in German, Zeitalter, dispensation in their brain. So they are not even updated to the reality in the 21st century. That's the topic for another day. I just have a lot to say, but I want to keep this show very short, and I think I should take about 5 calls. For anyone, now feel free, if you have any question pertaining to the topic of the Amber World Draft, I want you to call. I'm ready to answer your questions. If you're having any doubts, any worries, If you have anything that is still trying to disturb your mind, why you feel that you should not draft for 2021, call. I'm ready to answer your questions. Perhaps you have a contribution to contribute and to encourage and to give us reasons why you personally think that we should draft for the Amber World Draft 2021. Call. I'm willing to take that answer. But I want you to know that if the few individuals who pledged and fulfilled their pledges in the Amber World Draft 2020 could bring us this far, think about what we can do in 2021 in the togetherness. So some of you in South Africa, I want to say, I've said this again and again, and I know some of you, you did a lot of wrongs. You followed those who mischievously manipulated you to fight against the interim government and to do the things you did. You did those things out of ignorance in 2020. But in 2021, we are soaring above the enemy. We have La Republique on the ground already. We must exert more energy in crushing La Republique. I open the lines. You can call if you want to call. Draft in 2021. And of course, when you draft, I will talk about this tomorrow, how we can correct some mistakes of the past, how we can become more effective in the counties. Because actually, there are some people who are worried that they drafted and they are not seeing the actions in their counties. They are right. Because they drafted. There are some counties that I'm like, what is happening? We gave you money. What is happening? They've not been acting. But it's not a reason to become discouraged. Have you gone back to your county to ask them why? See, I called my chairman, Mola Edi, and I spoke with him. I was worried about a lot of things that are happening in Fako. I took my phone and I called my chairman and I spoke with him. And he explained a lot of things to me. I called many other people. I contacted the intergovernmental, the IOC. I spoke with them. I spoke with people I wanted to speak with, that I know they could give me information about the draft. Some of you, you might be worried like, oh, I contributed in my county, I'm not seeing action. Maybe you are not seeing the satisfactory action you want. Go back to your counties and ask, why? Maybe just only few people contributed and the money has not come, it does not suffice the magnitude of the action you want to see. That might provoke you to contribute more. The truth is that the Amber World Draft is the best strategy that we can ever implement in self-defense right now. You heard Ayok Tabe said it's for diplomacy. What has diplomacy done? Why our people are being killed? British are there signing contracts for with La Republique du Cameroon to get our petrol. Are those people you want to reason with? No, 1,000 times no. We are not going to beg anybody. Oh God, don't miss my next shows. Who are the British? Who are the British? Are we going to beg them? They are coming to profit from our natural resources and we should be begging them for what? We are begging France for what? They are coming to our territory to profit from our natural resources and we should be begging them. They should be begging us. Think about it. A British wants to go to Africa. He uses his British passport and may not even require a visa. And he's going there to profit from the natural resources of the land. If you want to go to Britain or France, they are challenging you. You need a visa. You need this. They are cross-checking you for whatsoever. As though you are going to profit anything from them. Nothing. They come and steal from us and want you to pay for visas. And they refuse you visas. And they go and bribe your elites to kill your people to gain your natural resources. Not in the 21st century. No. 1,000 times no. I just want to compose myself and you know, some of these things, they get me so bitterly angry deep in my soul that I can't control myself when I talk about them. It's just so inhuman. I mean, come on. You think even God in heaven is happy with that? No. Well, I'm opening the lines for calls. If you want to call, as I said, I'm going to use the next 10 minutes to take 5 calls. So each caller will have 2 minutes. If you want to call, as I said, please, you're free to call. The number is on the screen. You can see the number on the screen. Give me a call, WhatsApp only, and I'll connect you to participate in the show. And yes, as I said, we are taking this liberation fight to another level. We are taking this liberation fight to another level. 2021 is a year of action. I won't promise you that you are going to be seeing me very often, but I want to promise you one thing. Whenever you see me come on my platform again, in this 2021, know that there is bloodshed in La République du Cameroon. Yes. Whenever you see Mr. Nanchop come online to talk, just be assured that, rest assured that there is bleeding taking place. Because I told you that we must do the work at the background and let those actions speak for us. And they are speaking. They are beginning to speak. It's just the beginning. Some of you, I see you guys on Facebook, you are very happy when you see those little actions. You saw our boys testing. It's just test. Not test though. I heard somewhere like Atanganji, if you touch a beehive, a beehive, you can't even say beehive. I mean, come on. Are these the people you want us to live together with? No. No. No, 1,000 times no. No. 1,000 times no. We're not going to accept that. Let me take the first caller from ground zero. Good day, good evening, welcome to Amber Voice with Mr. Nancho.
Thank you, Mr. Nancho. I am very privileged to be on your show today, sir.
Repeat that again, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
I say I'm very privileged to be on your show today, sir. Thank
you.
Oh,
you're welcome, sir. Thank you. You're connected. We can hear you, sir.
Thank you so much for all that you do for Ambazonia. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I really have. Yeah, my only contribution is a thank you and a dove of my heart to all our restoration forces for all what they have been doing to defend our territory, especially these past weeks. Thank you, and I thank you. Please shout out to all our defense forces, our liberation forces.
Wonderful. Excellent. Thank you, caller. That's a wonderful. I like that. Sometimes it's very necessary to appreciate, just to thank, to say thank you. There are times, even in my life, I just take my phone and I call a certain people and I just say, thank you. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for challenging me. Just thank you. And this moment, we want to say thank you to our restoration forces. Because, listen, think about it. Some individuals abroad who have the opportunity to earn money, they don't have the courage and the boldness to support the liberation fight by financially contributing to it. But here you have our brothers and sisters sacrificing their lives. The only thing they have still, their life. They are sacrificing their lives to fight and protect homeland, to protect us, to protect our mothers and fathers, to protect our children, to protect homeland. Think about it. Here you have a set of people like Epom and the West. They don't want you to draft. They don't want you to contribute. And you have some people who don't even want, they are not even giving their money. But they can talk about Ambazonia for morning tonight. And on the other hand, you have those who don't just only believe in the victory of Ambazonia, but they are sacrificing their lives. Thank you, our restoration forces. To all of you watching me on YouTube or Facebook or on the satellite, I want you to just say thank you, the Ambazonian restoration forces. Thank you, ARFs. Thank you, ARFs. Those boys, those great boys, sacrificing their lives, their time and their everything to protect homeland. Thank you. And I want to show you now that domo you don't pass La Republique. When I want to see her, there's
a nice shot.
When I see fight don't pass La Republique. That white man and La Republique. Now so you don't start what? When I know see my show again.
There's a nice shot. There's a nice shot. There's a nice shot.
More 11, so more to that tomorrow. Now I'll be rounding up the show in the next 1 minute. Now, ladies and gentlemen, fans and friends of Mr. Nancho, and today we'll be talking about game over for La Republique. We are introducing this topic, and I want to emphasize on the fact that we are not going to relent our effort in protecting homeland, in acting on self-defense. It is our human right, it is our duty, and we have embarked on it not to stop until our land is free and saved from all the genocidal perpetrators. And on rounding up today, I also want to make it very clear that we, the people of Ambazonia, we are not going to stop to do that which is good and right. I trust in your judgment. You watching me right now, I trust in the sanity of your judgment. And I told you that we are going to have a lot of unreasonable and wicked men who say things that are so unreasonable. They will do things that are so wicked. Some of them will be emerging from among us. But we are very certain, and I for one am very certain and confident in the sanity of your judgment. Because you've always made the right choices. You've always done the right things. And you're not going to stop right now. Now that we've had La Republique on his back. La Republique is on the floor. So I think I have a caller. I'm just rounding up the show, but this is going to be the last caller for the day. And I'll call it a day. Hello, madam. Hello, sir. Welcome to Amber Voice.
Hello, Mr. Nacho. This is Ernest.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, so thank you for the show today. You've said thank you to almost everybody that is partaking in this war and the liberation struggle. And I also want to say thank you to yourself for doing what you are doing. Thank you for the draft drive, which you are encouraging. And like you said, I want really to thank our boys in ground zero, because they are fighting and they are drafting again. And we are here sitting only with draft, and most of us are not ready to draft. How did these boys in ground zero drive? You can find them, they go and take the AK which we are supposed to buy. How much is one of the AKs costing? How much is it costing? And they have so many of them. Is that no draft on their side? Yeah. We wouldn't even buy that one again. When you don't buy, it means that the draft is going for another business. So you can see how these guys are drafting, And then we were talking about the Swiss talk. We were talking about the Swiss talk and making a loud noise about it because people said that they don't know who to talk with. So we wanted really to show that we are ready to talk. Let them not think that we don't want to talk, we only want to fight because they call us rebels. But now that they have known there are people that they can talk with, so we're not going to talk about Swiss talk again. Everybody knows where the road is to go to Swiss. So anybody that reaches there can easily call us back and we will respond if there is need. Otherwise, we are just moving further to get liberated. And that's all. We could liberate without recognition. No trouble. We'll do that.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Well, the topic of the Swiss talks is a topic I'm going to address on a different instance. I said that, and I made a promise, that in the next 7 days, I'm going to take time to address a couple of things. There have been a lot of things happening, and I know that I haven't been very vocal. Silence does not mean denial. And sometimes you just want to look for the right time to address a certain thing. And I have that urge to elaborate on some things and to enlighten us on some key issues. I want you to be very confident. One thing, be very confident about the victory of Ambazonia over La Republique du Cameroon. If anybody ever told you at any time that we will not win this war, if you had doubt in your heart at any time that we are not going to win this war, by now that doubt should have been evaporated by the realities you are seeing, by the manifestations you are seeing, you are perceiving. You see, when you see some of these videos, these are just some of the videos that think is good to share with you. But they are more than that. Because we're not going to put everything on social media to or sell our strategic approach. No. But the fact remains what I said on the 28th of December 2020. I made it clear that that was the last call I made for La Republique du Cameroun, that from the 1st of January 2021, La Republique will bleed like never. In fact, let me tell you something. The amount of soldiers La Republique will lose in this 2021 will be 3 times more than the soldiers they've ever lost in any war, including the one they fought in Bakassi. Take note of that statement. La Republique fought the Bakassi war for so long, including the ones that have died, even of other issues. Sum them together. The amount of soldiers La Republique is going to lose in this year 2021 in Ambazonia, and even in La Republique, because we'll extend it over. I'm telling you. It will be 3 times more than that they have ever lost. The only way out for them is the earlier they rush for peace talks, the better for them. And to all of you, let me give you a little warning, because I love life. You know, it's not like we are happy when some of you are dying, the soldiers of La Republique du Cameroun. But you are so stupid that you are going into your own death. You know that you are going into a territory and you're not going to come back alive. Someone, think of it, Bia has Frank. He has Brenda. He is not sending them. He has Junior. He is not sending them to go to Ambazonia. He is sending you and your children. And who is he sending you to go and kill? The innocent children and mothers of the people of the British Southern Cameroons. So you think we are going to fold our arms and watch you come and kill our mothers? In as much as we don't love to kill, but we are not going to allow you kill our mothers and fathers and our children. We must do something. Be it killing you, which is our